Hello, my name is Chris, and in this video, I'm just going to go over a Game Jam submission that myself and a buddy of mine, Joseph, we submitted. The Game Jam we entered was Brackey's Game Jam of 2024, as you can see here. So this took place a few weeks ago, and there were 791 entries. The theme of the Game Jam was what's behind the door. There's probably a lot of obvious game design ideas that come from that, and I tried really hard to stick to the non-obvious. I wanted to go away from the obvious because I knew there would be a lot of submissions for horror and scare games, which was actually the case. But let's jump into the game, and we'll see how it fits the theme. So this game was made in Unity, and it took us a week to make this game. The Game Jam was a week long. So let's just jump right into it. The game is called Storage Auction Simulator. Turn the music down just a little bit. All right, and close that option menu. So the theme was what's behind the door. Our game is called Storage Auction Simulator, so you can probably guess what's going to happen. So if I click this button right here in the center, we'll get a kind of like a sprite mask that lets us see into the door and see what's behind the door, and we'll only have a limited amount of time to see what's behind the door. So we'll click on this button, and then we see this little lens, and we can see there's a chair, there's a box, look like part of a TV. Now that's the part that fits the theme. The other part of the game that kind of helps the game be fun and a little quirky was the bid system. This is the storage auction game, so we're going to start bidding. You can see in the top we have $300 starting off. And so I'll just click on this, and when I click on this button to start bidding, you'll see the dialogue of the bid caller. So the bid caller is the guy that yells out the bid amounts and tries to pay attention to who's bidding. So we'll go ahead and start the bidding process. Hello and welcome to the bid. We'll start at $5. And these guys are just...
Yep.
This is the AI bidding right now. And you can see the dialogue kind of matches what a bid caller would say at an auction.
Yep.
I'm going to bid for $30.
Yep.
These guys are going to keep bidding. I'll go ahead and bid 40. Going once for 40. Maybe I'll win it. Cool. So if I win, I'll get that dialogue that says collect your items. Open the door and collect your items. And so here, now I can see the items that are in here. I can hover over them and I can select them, and they get added to my inventory. And let's go to the store now, because there's nothing else we can do here except go to the store. I had to add in this dialogue here because a lot of people were confused about how the store works, and rightly so. This game was made in a week. And to have a complete game loop of selling items was kind of challenging, but nonetheless, let's just continue. This song is a little loud, so let's go ahead and back. Okay. So I guess this was more of the confusing part. So you have your store here on the left, and you have your inventory. So these are the items we won in the inventory, and then we have a counter. In this game, time isn't really defined in days, it's just a time duration, and so for now it's kind of just depicted as these dots. Every time this timer here reaches 0, so when these dots run out, we'll have to pay overhead, and that's the overhead for our shop. And we have money. Our money shows here, so anytime our overhead comes out, we'll see that come out of here. But we want to sell items. All right, so if we hover over an item, we can see the item's name. So antique chair, we can see its value, $90, and time to sell. so 2 time units. So in order to sell an item, we're just going to click and drag this over to the shop slot. And we'll move this over. Let's move all 3 of them over. Perfect. So those are in there. And then now we just continue playing the game, and then every time we come back to the shop, these little time units will tick down. Yeah, so in this level, we start to experiment with having little guys in the foreground. Never really got past it with this level, but this is technically the first level. The one we saw earlier was the tutorial. So in this actual level, we can see there's 3 units, and so we can look between the 3, and we can go ahead and look at them. Let's see, a mattress, some clothes. I don't know if we want to start bidding, but let's just see what's behind everything. There's a clock, a safe, a chair. We saw another chair in there. Let's look in this one. Game system, a guitar. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and like... Alright, so there's something with the AI that you probably won't learn ever because this is a game jam game. But AI can only win 1 bid. So if the AI wins this unit, then they can't bid on the next unit. But there's 3 AI. So 1 AI won't be allowed to bid anymore, but the other 2 AI will bid. So let's just kind of see if that takes place. And what I'll do is I'll kind of let the AI outbid each other.
Yep.
In this level, the bidding actually starts at $10, not $5, and it increments at $10 increments.
Yep.
I'll just bid just to up the bid. I hope someone... Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was getting nervous. I thought I would have to buy the junkie unit. So let's just let that play out. Now clearly, you know, this can be a little more designed, I guess. But you saw I lost, and because I lost, I cannot see the contents of what's in here, and I can't select the items, so I lost. Let's go ahead and go to another unit. You know, I really like this unit. So let's see if I can win it. Go ahead and select that. Bam. Yep. By the way, this is my voice, the one saying yep. So I recorded just a ton of different yep voices.
Yep.
And I want to win this one.
Yep.
These guys.
Yep.
Did I bid 100? Let's just...
Yep.
I'll just do 100. One critique I got of this, which is very obvious, is knowing who's bid what. Because sometimes you may bid at the same time as a NPC, and you don't know if yourself or the NPC is winning the current round of bid. So having that displayed somewhere could be very helpful. That was a very common critique. So given more time, you know, of course that would be in there. So let's see what I won. I won this picture hanging all the way up there. I didn't see that initially, but I'll click that. Won this arcade unit and these guitars and this car. And you see, once I won, the money was subtracted from my overall money. I don't really care to bid on this other unit, but let's just go to the store. Okay, so as soon as we got on here, we saw this timer tick down. And because we had one item in this bottom right store slot that only had one unit, it ticked down to 0 and then it sold. And we saw that that money was added to here. Now we can see all the other items in the slot. I had to do some weird math to kind of fit these in here because all the sprites are different sizes. So that's why they're kind of squashed. I think perhaps my math is a little different for these slots as it is for the store slots, because if I drag and drop, say, this arcade machine in there, it kind of has a better fit. But anyways, I'll drop that in there, and these guitars take a long time to sell, but they give you a lot of money. That's painting. How much is this car? It's weird. We've got some weird on hover thing going on. But let's just throw one of these guitars in there anyway. Let's go to the auction. To our next auction. And we have 3 units here. Now in this auction, it's not really balanced because I typically don't win many in this because the bid can get pretty high because it starts at 20 and then goes in $20 increments. So let's just see what's in here. A safe, picture. Let's see what's in here. There's actually nothing in this storage unit, which I think maybe we just forgot to put stuff in there. Let's see what's in this unit. Another arcade machine, clothes, a guitar all the way up here. So what I'll do in this case is I'll usually, because I want to try to win that one all the way on the right.
Yep.
So I'll let the NPCs kind of outbid themselves here, and then one of them will win.
Yep.
And therefore, I won't have as many NPCs competing with me in the other auction.
Yep. 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 Yep.
They both kind of bid at the same time.
Yep. Yep.
And you see how these bids get really high. Yeah, and if I was gonna bid on that, I mean, I wouldn't even be able to. So I want to bid on this guy though. Let's see how much we can win this for.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
All right, so that outdoes me because I can't.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I can't bid.
Yep. Yep.
Even if I click on it, the logic won't let me because I don't have enough money. Yeah, it's me. I lost. All right, so let's go to the store. So we saw a few things happen. My overhead paid, or I had to pay my overhead because we see that there's 0 time now, and that got subtracted. But then I sold 2 items, so that re-added my value, or excuse me, my money back. But since those 2 slots are now open, I can throw in, the other items. And that's it. That's really the game. We go to the next auction. Really just take us to the credits. Because that's it. It was only a few levels. While the credits are running, I can just talk about some of the game. Again, we had a 1 week to put this game together. So clearly there's a lot of critique that we were not able to implement. When it comes to trying to fit the theme, a lot of the game loop kind of centers around just how can I make that core mechanic of looking behind the door, how can I make that fun? So how can I make the game loop kind of adhere to that? So then we came up with the bidding and the selling items at the shop just to help support the theme or that core mechanic. Although I would say the core mechanic's really the bidding. I don't know if it's truly the looking behind the door. All the music on this game was taken from the YouTube audio library, which is free. And I think you're technically only licensed to use that if you're posting content on YouTube. So that music's free and royalty free if you're posting music on or videos on YouTube. Our team name was Sauce Chicken. That was a team name Joseph and I had when we were in school together a long time ago. And thank you for playing. And we'll go back to the main menu, and everything kind of resets. If I was to hit start, it would treat it as a new game because that's just how it runs right now. All of the artwork was created by me, which there's not much except the font and these buttons and some other pixel art. Those were from a free asset pack, but the storage units themselves, like this building, the storage unit, the shadows, the drain pipe, all that stuff, that was created by me because they're all just native 2D sprites to Unity. So I just used Unity's native 2D sprites to create all of this. That's all everything is here. Whoops. All right, so I'll quit out of this game. And I just want to show a few things. Let's quit. Okay. So I have the project open in here in Unity. Whoops. And I want to show you kind of how the AI work. So everything's kind of in this bid canvas, and we have NPC bidders. And so we have 3 bidders, and then we have the bid caller. And we have all of these kind of, these parameters of what we want to set for the bid caller. And then each NPC has their own parameters. And what's really changing from level to level to change the difficulty, which is really just the bid amount, is each level we want to change this. We change this bid increment to 10 and then to 20. And then I think it's the bid canvas itself, or no, it's the bid manager that gives you the starting bid amount. Ideally, maybe this should be in the bid caller, but this is all prototype code I made very fast. So, so we see that the NPC bidders, if we look at their code, we see how many minimum bids that they are allowed and how many maximum bids per round. In this context, per round means per storage unit. So if I start at a storage unit and I start bidding, this particular NPC, right at the beginning, there's a random number that's generated for the number of bids that they're going to bid total. And that number is going to be between 1 and 5. So they'll only be allowed to bid between 1 and 5 bids. And then I have this bid weight max, bid weight min. These are there just to throw some, what can I say, like just some interesting behavior from the NPCs. Like some of them and some of the levels have this ramped way up, and that's because I wanted there to be a little suspense. So, when the bid caller says going once for this for 40, going twice for 40, when they're getting to the last part and then all of a sudden you have an NPC that bids and it's just like devastating, or maybe it's funny, but who knows? And so you can kind of see that they all have different parameters. Um, whenever the round starts, there's a wait time that's randomly selected, and then there's a number of bids that they're going to bid, and then that changes per whatever per level. And I think that's really it that I wanted to show um, for here. And this is just the core mechanic example. We actually have more levels, so we have the tutorial level, then the post tutorial. So that was that big screen with all that text. Let's see. Let's go find it. Yeah. This was added after the game was submitted. The game jam allows us to continuously make improvements or fix bugs or whatever during the rating period. So the rating period comes after the creation period. So you get 1 week to create and submit, and then you get 2 weeks to rate and make improvements. So this was put in place to deal with that. And also, let's see. I probably don't have any items saved, but let's go ahead and look. Because okay. Whenever I was hovering over items and you saw the time duration to sell and the name and the number, the value of the item, that was also put in there post game submission, just to again help communicate the mechanics and kind of what's going on when you're seeing the store. So that's really it that I want to show as far as what's in Unity. Let's go back to the Game Jam submission. I'll go back to my page. Sorry, my internet's acting kind of slow. So here's the Brackey's Game Jam submission. And here's our overall ratings. As far as theme goes, if we go back to the Game Jam, where's it at? Okay, there were 791 entries. So as far as theme and innovation go, I would say we did pretty good. We were, ranked 116 and 162 in theme and innovation out of 791 games. So that's pretty good. And then everything else, we were kind of in the center. Some of the design changes I improved came a little too late in the game, or a little too late in the rating period. So that's why some of these numbers are kind of lower. But I didn't even know I could improve the game. I had to kind of figure it out that I was allowed to improve the game after submitting. So it took me a while to figure out that I was even allowed to do that. And, I got a lot of good comments. I love this concept and you execute it really well. Good game. One guy was like just completely lost. Let me see if I can find it. Nice game. A lot of people like the music too. I got lost. So he didn't really give much feedback, but you're going to get people with feedback like that. Unique idea. Here we go. You saw this guy. Unique idea. The shop was kind of confusing. I never quite understood how it worked, but definitely an interesting game. Yeah, the shop was just, we had to put something in there to sell the items. And I think given some more time, the game could have been a lot more fun, actually. But really, it is what it is. The game was made in a week, and Joseph and I, we're quite proud of this submission. I think this was our first game jam we've ever entered, and yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I appreciate your time. Let me know if you have any comments. Otherwise, I'll see you later.